In case you missed it, Trump won the election. He is now our president-elect. And as you can expect, always, Hollywood is having a collective meltdown about it. It's very sad. First off, Billie Eilish delivered a speech to her teenage girl audience during a performance in Nashville. That was just a couple of nights ago. She called Trump someone who hates women so deeply. Here, let's watch the speech she gave to her fans.
All right, here we go.
I'm deaf.
A convicted predator. Let's say that. God, my heart is beating fast. Someone who hates women so deeply is about to be the
Just chose like a female chief of staff.
It doesn't matter.
president of the United States of America.
Oh, they're screeching like banshees. Make it stop.
So,
You think that was really cathartic
this
for
song
them?
is for all the women out there. I love you. I support you. And here we go.
Okay.
What is it? Here's the thing. You were like, oh, he just picked a female chief of staff. That doesn't matter. You could point to any number of examples. The facts do not matter. It will never even make a dent. They want to believe what they want to believe, and you will not convince them otherwise. In fact, that's why the proper response is actually like, yeah, Trump hates women. What about it? Yeah. I kind of like that about him. Like, just lean into it because you're never going to convince them otherwise. But I did see not all of the people in Billie's audience in that video were stupid. Some people in Nashville realized that she was talking nonsense. This TikTok says, this is a part of what's wrong with the U.S. today. For context, after Billie Eilish brought up the importance of voting for the right candidate, two older women took it upon themselves to interrupt the song and speak about how her age makes her opinion less than. It is this type of ignorance that makes it nearly impossible to make a change. Educate yourselves, please. And then Republicans in the audience at this Nashville concert ended up booing Billie and walked out of her concert early after she gave her speech calling Trump a misogynist. So there were some voices of reason in the crowd, at least.
I mean, there shouldn't be any of these voices at all because I just hate that these conversations have to happen.
Oh, not only that, Billie Eilish also posted her first reaction to Trump's victory on her Instagram story, saying, "It's a war on women."
My first
women.
thought whenever I saw these things that to say that, and obviously that has been the predominant narrative amongst celebrities and the general public, when it ignores the fact that abortion isn't even really an issue on the ballot at all, other than in the fictitious minds of people who have used it as propaganda, is that it speaks to the extreme narcissism of Western women.
Okay, what if abortion actually were on the ballot this time? It still wouldn't be a war on women if Trump won.
I know.
Just have to be. I mean,
my point
throwing
is that
out there. Like, I don't like accepting their premise, even that this is a women's rights issue. So that's BS.
My point was still that they won't, like, they can't make that concession anyways. They're not going to listen to you when you tell them that it's not a war on women either way. But if you're supposed to operate under the premise that they're operating under, it still wouldn't be that, because what they're talking about isn't a real issue.
Also, I'm confused because I thought that Sabrina Carpenter kept her mouth shut about this. I thought that she hadn't made any endorsement one way or the other, which made me think she was a crypto Trump supporter. But here's what she said after the election. "I feel so sorry about our country, and to all the women in here, I love you so much. I really hope that the rest of the night you can enjoy yourselves because you absolutely deserve it." Well, Trump won, so you have to engage in some self-care.
Yeah, they love
by
self-care.
going to a Sabrina Carpenter concert. Like, you sound like a toddler.
Actually, what they should be doing is the opposite. What you should do, you know how they talk about like working out, running long distances, any type of physical activity is a good way to harden yourself against any type of strife. They need the opposite of self-care so that they can mentally toughen up so that when these things happen, it doesn't break them. And that was actually my takeaway after this entire election was my heart breaks for a country where this has to matter that much anyways.
This as in the election?
Yes. Like, theoretically, in a perfect world, the federal government should be so small that the election of whoever becomes president should be inconsequential to the average everyday person. Meaning that it shouldn't be the end of the world, no matter who they elect. But since we don't live in that world and everybody has to act as if whoever becomes president, it's going to lead to either saving America or ending America, I'm sick of the hyperbole.
Well, I think the pop stars in these examples and their fan bases have been beaten over the head for so long,
they have.
so unceasingly with propaganda about Trump specifically and Project 2025 and everything that represents.
I can't wait to see them have to do this.
They do actually believe that we just elected an absolute monarch.
A fascist dictator.
That's what they think. Madonna also addressed the Donald Trump victory, showing off a cake, displaying the words F Trump.
My favorite part is how it's off center.
It's so messed up. It just looks bad.
No, I'm kind of here for it. Like she didn't pay.
Okay, so she bought a cake before the election night was over, and she was gonna decide what to write on it, or maybe it was gonna say F Trump regardless of who won. That makes sense to me. She said, trying to get my head around why a convicted felon, rapist, bigot was chosen to lead our country because he's good for the economy. Hold up. Let me just look up Madonna's net worth real quick before we start talking about the economy. It looks like she is grossed an estimated $1.2 billion in her career.
Very hard to imagine that, she has to worry about the economy. There's a 20 there from Jose Quintana. I think we missed that one.
Oh, sorry about that. Should Tulsi be on his cabinet? By the way, you may have missed my super chat earlier. Oh, great ghost empress and optical overlord. Wait, what was the one from earlier?
I think it was the very first one. I think we got that one.
Yeah. I have
no, here it is. Jose Quintana says, my dear ghost empress, it wasn't a flop. Movie reviews. Heretic was a slow burn, too slow. Weekend in Taipei was better than anticipated and quite violent. Please forgive me for shouting my empress, PCC. Long live PCC.
I did think about watching Heretic, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to get scared.
Yeah.
I have no take on whether Tulsi Gabbard should be in Trump's cabinet. I just think it's so rich that Madonna has a net worth at the minimum $850 million, and she is mad at normal people for voting based on the economy.
It's really funny because I saw somebody break it down really simply where they said they were mad at people who voted for Donald Trump because it was voting in their own self-interest rather than in the interest of other people. And that actually kind of undersells a huge cultural shift, which is that when voting, you should be voting for your own self-interest.
It's the left versus right-wing concern heat map.
Which is
all of their concern falls on the outside of their family and community.
Yeah.
And to the rest of the globe. Because
leftists are the only people that hold, white leftists are the only people with an outgroup bias, meaning that they would prefer to be around people who don't look like them.
Ariana Grande also made a statement on her Instagram.
But before we get to that, I want to do Bette Midler because it involves other ingredients as well. So if you didn't see ingredients. So not a cake, but Bette Midler, she posted this picture before the election, and it was a bottle of champagne. And it says, if Kamala wins, and then a bottle of Drano, and said, Trump wins. Judging by the crisis party, you know who won.
They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, eat the cat, eat the cat, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, eat the cat.
Well, the problem was, guys, that after Trump won, she deleted her account because she didn't want people to try and hold her to the statement.
She took down her ex.
Bette, you don't need to do it. I don't want you to, please do not drink the Drano.
Don't
It's
hurt
gonna be
yourself.
okay. You're very wealthy anyways, so none of this should be of concern to you. Just it's gonna be fine.
So unhinged, though, to even make a joke about that. Ariana Grande said, holding the hand of every person who is feeling the immeasurable heaviness of this outcome today.
You know what this is, right? It's because it's a life lived on social media now. Whereas if you lived out in the real world every day and you actually, like the day after the election, I was driving into work. And I was looking around, and there was women walking their dogs, and there was women out for runs.
They still had
and they
rights?
still had rights.
That's
and
crazy.
They didn't look scared to me, but maybe I'm just a poor judge of character. But the point is if you live in the real world and you don't concern yourself with the mountains, the $1 trillion propaganda machine that's aimed at this country, it becomes a lot easier to see. It's like, okay, so maybe write down, I like this idea. They said, if you're like, whatever your fear is, did you see the colleges were saying like, they were like offering their students like milk and cookie breaks and stuff like that.
Yes.
So if you're that scared, what you should do, and this would have gone the other way. If you're a right-wing person and you were terrified that the end of the world is going to come if Kamala wins, we can argue about which one of those outcomes is more likely, but write down what your greatest fears are and then just kind of keep it there. First of all, just writing it down is cathartic a lot of times anyways, because it gives a face to, it kind of crystallizes what your problems are. But write down, what you're scared of, and then let that go. And then follow it. And then if they don't, how many days until this one comes true? How many days until this one comes true? I mean, if the right idea is like, we're going to lose my rights. Like they're going to be waiting 4 years to find out that, he's not going to touch the abortion issue anyway, which is what they really care about. They want to be able to kill their babies.
That's their single issue. Right. Well, I mean, these people are obviously unhinged and unreachable.
And then there's
Most
Cardi B.
people, as you said, are normal and just living their day-to-day lives.
And then you have the Cardi Bs who kind of prove their disdain for middle America. They kind of go mask off when stuff like this happens because they take great issue.
Well, no, Cardi B is embarrassed. She's embarrassed because literally just a year ago, she went public saying, I'm never doing another political endorsement again.
Yeah.
Because she realized when she endorsed Biden that she effed up because everything got really bad under Biden. Yeah. And then she was like, no, it's going to be different this time because I'm endorsing a black woman.
Yeah.
Then, she lost and you found out that you had so little influence, way less influence than you thought you had in Hollywood.
I was honestly shocked by how little what a white pill in all of this is. Like, if you really think about all of the celebrities, all of the money. I mean, not just that Kamala spent $1 billion on her campaign, but think of all of the celebrities who give these recommendations for free. Right? Like all of that money, all of that airtime. And even if they won and they won by a small margin, what it tells you is that it takes that much money in propaganda just to raise one side up over the other, which means that if we were to operate on level playing fields and they both spent $0 and spent and had whatever influencers they had on their side, the common sense side of the equation would come out far higher. They literally have to spend billions of dollars on airtime and celebrities just to come somewhere close to the common everyday American.
Let's take a look at this Cardi B video. She looks very passionate.
So listen, I'm gonna let y'all know this right now, okay? So you little trumpets, like, y'all won. I know y'all happy, whatever the fuck. Ain't nobody acting like bitter losers. However, y'all need to leave me the fuck alone. Because I got one more fucking cigarette in me before I start lighting your asses up. Alright? And that's word to the United States of motherfucking America. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of awesome that she's coming out of a Target.
Why is she at Target?
I like the idea that she like pops over there.
She's just really not that famous.
I like the idea that she pops over there to check out the dollar section in the beginning. Every woman loves the dollar section.
She always shoplifts.
The values. No. I'm saying that she goes there, she checks the dollar bins, she does the couple laps around.
A frap, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think that she has no right to demand other people treat her some type of way when she was the one who made a political statement and didn't like the consequences. People should be able to criticize you for your political statements.
Which actually, maybe that's the right idea, is like you should be heavily mocked. Therefore, when it doesn't work out and that happens to you, it teaches you not to do it again the next time.
I thought she had learned her lesson.
Yeah.
I really did. But maybe it's just third time's the charm, and we'll find out 4 years from now.
Did you get the sense that this was all you were seeing on your timeline over the last week or so? Because I got kind of numb to it. Like by day 2, and everybody's like posting all the videos of everybody freaking out and all the people having meltdowns in their car. And I'll be honest, like that doesn't help me. I guess it's funny, but it doesn't entertain me in the way it does a lot of other people. Granted, I'm not a Republican.
Well, it's not 2016 anymore.
It
doesn't feel the same way it felt in 2016.
Yeah.
Definitely. And when I see someone like Jimmy Kimmel crying his eyes out on national television because they voted against women's rights and climate change science, I find that more funny.
Yeah.
When I see a normal person, just a normal, ordinary person with an ordinary job, posting a TikTok from their car, having a full-on mental breakdown as a reaction to this election, that is actually sad to me.
Yeah.
That is disturbing.
I see that, and I'm filled with sadness for that person because they have been beaten down by an absolutely evil media and an absolutely demonic propaganda machine that's built. First of all, we are already in a mental health crisis in this country, and they just benefit from it even more.
Right.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.